Jo here, back with another pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is all about messages from animal spirits. We are using a particular spread today, like in the last video. We are using the butterfly spread from the medicine cards from Jamie Sams and David Carson, which are some great cards. We're not actually using those cards today. We're using two other Oracle animal spirit decks, and we will also add some tarot wherever it seems appropriate. So this particular pick a card, even though we're talking about animal spirit messages, we are also focusing on something in our lives. So this spread that we're using today is really good for determining the outcome of projects or group enterprises. We've got 4 cards that we will expand upon. So I want you to, instead of just, sitting back and waiting for a message from animal spirits, what we really want to do is focus on something in your life, a project or something you've been working on, something that you've been doing with others. Bring that to mind and then focus on these 4 piles. And I'll put some crystals on there now to help you. Okay, so we have our 4 crystals on there now. The first one is K2 with pile number 1. Again, remember to bring something to mind that you've been working on, a project or something with a group, or, that involves your family, perhaps something like that. Whatever it is, focus on that before you choose your pile. We have rose quartz, we have dendritic agate, and we have Preseli bluestone. So see which pile is calling you, and when you know, you can pause this part of the video if you're finding it more challenging, and you may be drawn to 2. And I'm becoming very breathless, just getting ready for this next part of the video. So just relaxing the body and knowing that your guides will guide you to the appropriate reading. So when you know, there'll be timestamps in the description box, and you can jump ahead to your section or sections of the reading. And please don't forget to follow me on Facebook. There is a link in the description box below. There's also a link for private readings if you would like one of those. Which will take you directly to my website where you can look at all the prices and things like that, and then you can book. I also do Qigong healings as well, so there's other things on my website if you're interested. Those can be done over Zoom or in person. Let's get stuck into it. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the beautiful K2 heart, then this is your reading for today about animal spirit messages. And we are focusing on a project or something that you've been working on with a group. And we have 4 cards. We have, now I just have to remember which order they're in. We have 4 cards. We have East, South, West, and then North. And they all have a different position about what's going on in your project and what phase the project is in those particular areas. So card number 1, which you have Lion Spirit, and it's Be Generous of Spirit, which I absolutely love. Now the other thing I want to talk about here before we start is these very similar colours. Now the antelope card is a little bit different, but quite similar still. Okay, as I was saying, I just got interrupted by my puppy. We have lots of blues and greens. This may be important. It could be the throat and the heart chakra that we're really working with here. This could be a watery element because that sort of green blues really sort of is making me feel very watery. We do have 2 water elements here. But yes, I feel like this feels really deep in heart energy. And there's another strength coming in over there with the antelope spirit. So just before we look at the individual placements, I am getting a bit of it. My head is spinning and my eyes are sort of going a little bit crossed. So there feels like this project for you, or this thing that you've been working on, or this group endeavour, this is very much about your heart. And even if it's something that you may not think is really closely associated to your heart, it feels to me that it really is like you're more invested in it than you really realize, for those of you who are sitting on the fence when I say that. And if that's not making sense for you, then perhaps this is not your reading. But this first card here with Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit, this is a bold, forceful energy. And if your heart is not in it, the Leo is all about heart energy. It's that sun energy. It wants everybody to succeed. It is really a great group energy, the Leo energy. And this first position is the egg card, or the egg position. The egg position. This is the seed of your idea or your project or your activity. So if this is where you're coming from, if this is you, or if this is the activity or the group, whatever, then this is really great energy to start this project with, or to be the impetus that starts the project. And it is seen as the medicine that is needed for this project. So if you've gone off track, if you feel like this is not where you're coming from, perhaps you're watching this today so that you can refocus, so that you can gather, perspective and things like that, and then come back to this generous spirit of lion. I'm loving the lion spirit energy here. It's fearless, it's strong, it's bold, and I feel a real leadership sort of element here, and I feel that's probably you. It may not be. It may be that this thing that you're involved in or that you're working on, there is a strong sense of leadership, and it's bold and it's strong and it's very worthwhile, is the message that I'm getting. So I'm going to go through all of the 4 cards, and then we'll see if we need more clarification or extra messages want to come in. So with the next card we have is Koi Fish Spirit. There's always enough. Now here it's in the reverse, so I feel like there may be, I talked here about the fact that maybe this spirit has been lost here, and I don't know why I'm saying that. This is the Lava card, or the Lava position. This card is about early doing, what needs to be done and how it will be done. It's the pragmatic sort of card. Who will take responsibility for this role or this thing? Just as a butterfly egg turns into a growing, struggling caterpillar, this is the medicine of the Lava card. Will the energies be strong enough to overcome any obstacles in this project or group work that you're doing? The caterpillar sheds its skin many times during the growth. Will the many egos involved in your project or activity acquiesce in, the idea is shed their skin in order to facilitate achievement? And the fact that this is in the reverse, I feel like this is what was leading me to think that perhaps this generous spirit, that either people are not necessarily jumping in where they need to, or perhaps these things aren't well defined. So perhaps if this is you working on your own project, because it's filled with heart energy, which I'm really noticing it, the Koi, fish spirit, this feels almost like you've been hurt before. This feels like you've seen something in the past has gone a certain way, and therefore, instead of having this very strong energy that's moving forward, knowing that there's always enough, that things will get taken care of, in this position here, this Lava card, it feels almost like it's a stagnation, but the thing is it's coming through because of this heart energy. This heart energy is not moving forward, it's not moving direct, it is being dispersed. And I feel like these two here are really leading into each other. This project or this thing started off very well. It started off with the best of intentions, but this is a 9, this card. So this is a 10 and this is a 9. I love this because, this is how you're meant to proceed. But here we've got to face some challenges in this Lava part. So, perhaps there's not enough push. Now, if you're working in a group, the push doesn't need to come from you directly. The push needs to come from the project realigning with its, with what it's meant to do, realigning with its goals, its purposes, and how it's set out to do them. And this is for your own project too. So sometimes we think if we're not making progress and moving forward, that we need to push. And push if we're not doing anything about what this energy is that's stuck or stagnant, or, the past hurt. We're not able to move beyond what is causing the problem. But we're close, because this is a 9 and then we've got a 10. So then we're going to move into the next card, which is Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. I love this card in this position for you, Group 1. I love it. It's a very noble, really noble energy coming in there with Antelope Spirit. The West card is known as the Cocoon card, or Cocoon position. It speaks of the higher purpose. I love that too. It's where the highest transformation takes place, much as when transformation happens inside the cocoon and a beautiful butterfly soon emerges. In viewing this card, it is good to ask yourself, why have you joined the activity or project you're considering? Was it to serve Great Spirit and the tribe, or was it to serve yourself? If your activity or your project was simply self-serving, it will in all probability backfire on you. Not the self, but the family, the clan, the people, the Great Spirit are to be served. And I love that. And I love how I said that this was noble for you. So this is the highest purpose of this. And that's this, this sort of higher mind aspect of your project or the thing that you're involved in is really great. And I can see it. But it's like, who will do it? Who will do it? Who will be the forces that will make the things happen? This is where we're having some challenges. So the cocoon, this is this beautiful higher mind here. Life is speeding up. This is meant to happen. This is meant to be a force to be reckoned with. This project, this group work, whatever it is, it's meant to work. And literally this part of it is being lifted by Spirit. So before I talked about this watery element, so the emotional side of it, whereas this is Spirit coming in. You see that the antelope is not on the ground. It is actually lifted up into the air. The other thing about this is, that it's moving fast. It's going up and over the obstacles. So once again, I talked about the fact that we need to go back to this generous nature and the reason why you got involved, the reason why this project started, the reason why this thing that you're doing, came into existence. That's super important. The antelope here is willing and able to get you up and over the hurdles, absolutely. But you need to connect back into this, or this group does. Our final card is Whale Spirit. Trust the great mystery, which I absolutely love, because this project or this group endeavor has got a little bit waylaid, but it's okay, because there is a greater spiritual reason why this is all happening. And the whale spirit is so powerful. And from my looking at this, my angle, I just see this momentum and this shift here. Whereas this part here, yes, it's stalling, there's something wrong, there is some stagnation, but it can't be stopped. It really can't. There's this beautiful energy here that is really quite forceful. Now, the North card is known as the Butterfly card, or the Butterfly position. It is likely to tell you if Great Spirit has walked hand in hand with you and your group or project. Look to this card to tell what sorts of rewards are to be gained. So this card is, whether this project or group work will manifest into reality, will take concrete form. And like I said to you, this particular energy that's moving through these top cards, it's like the higher mind aspect of what we're looking at is definitely saying yes. There is definitely always enough. And the thing is that there's a need to trust that that's actually going to happen. Now, I didn't actually ask what this card was going to be about, but we have the world upside down, and I'm placing it underneath the Lion Spirit card. So for me, that's super important. The world upside down is telling me that this will happen, but that at the moment we are in a stuck moment. We are in a stagnation. Now, which way are these going? That way, and that way. Okay. So where are these going? They're going down below here. And I want to move those a little bit to the side. Yes. Now, to me, this feels like we're all looking at koi spirit. It feels like we're looking at why or what is going on. And I do love the cards that have come out for you. Now, I'm starting to get niggly, like my feet are jumping up and down. So this lava stage, this doing stage, it feels like people aren't playing their parts, which we talked about before. It feels like people are just not pulling their weight. Things are not being fair. And it may be you that feels like things are not fair. But justice is here in the upright form. So my question to you is it not, why is it not fair? What is it about it that's not fair to you, which with whatever's happening here, that people aren't pulling their weight, that the people that are supposed to be stepping in aren't stepping in? Now, there's a reason for that, and I feel like it's because you've got to come back to the generous spirit, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, who has the lion prominently on the bridge here. The lion wants to cross over. The lion wants to make this happen, which is the Eight of Wands. This is, quick, fast-moving energy. This is progress. This is getting things done. This is passion. This is excitement. These are all the things we want. But I feel like my head is like I'm getting echoes happening. But I feel like you need to question your own judgments around this idea, there's always enough. This idea that, maybe that this project or a project in the past hasn't worked for you. Why didn't it work for you? And maybe you thought that things weren't fair, but maybe you need to revisit those. And these things are really hard to work with when we're looking at ourselves, because I'm really noticing the yellow on the world, which is about the mind. And I've been talking about this higher mind. So I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect between this higher mind, which is really on target. The higher mind is really on target. But the earthly plane here, we don't have any pentacles. We have the world and we have the Wheel of Fortune. And they're both in the reverse position. So it feels like the wheel's spinning at the moment, but nothing's happening. But the other thing that I meant to say, because Spirit just jumped in my mouth and said some other stuff, is that just because you're moving, which, I just talked about that before, this endless spinning, just because you're doing doesn't mean you're going to get stuff done. Now, I had this today because I wanted to, do this, do that, do the other thing. And Spirit just basically said, just do one video and that will be enough. Instead of planning and doing and blah, 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 and creating all this craziness, Spirit just said, focus in on what you want to do for today and make that important. So it's like you're bringing all the energy together, which is what we're talking about here as the koi spirit, which is not happening. It's about bringing everything together, bringing it into alignment. You see these wands, they're all moving in the same direction. They're all together. They're all aligned. They may be moving differently. They may be doing different jobs, but they're all aligned. They're all moving with one purpose and one goal. And that, I feel, is huge. This is what we're dealing with here. This is why this project is not moving beyond wherever it is stuck for you or this group. It is this card here, this endless doing without focus. That's the way I can sum it up the best. And for you to move beyond to the completion and beyond the completion stage to make it, function and go where you want it to go, which is the plan. And Great Spirit knows that this, you know, that you're working on this because it's a great thing. It's about coming back to this fairness, to this heart, and understanding why these challenges are happening at the moment and what it is that you need to learn from them so that you can get your passion, whatever this goal, whatever this is, so you can get it across the line, so you can get it across this bridge that the line wants to cross. Thank you so much for being here, pile number 1. Like I said, please, if you'd like to book a private reading, there's a link in the description box below. Please like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a reading put up each Friday evening, Australian Standard Time at about 7:45. Hope to see you again in a reading. Bye for now. Hi there, pile 2. If you chose the beautiful pink quartz, this is your reading today, all about animal spirit messages coming through about a project or group work that you have been working on. And our first card is Squirrel, preparation, get ready for big changes. I love this card for you. I actually feel like you have a really strong energy working behind you, with you, for you, in spirit. Really big, strong energy happening here. Your cards were the most determined to come out. Whatever this thing is that you're working on, or with the people that you're working with, and I'm feeling a little bit sick in my stomach because I feel like that is a little bit challenging to you, those words that you're, that this idea that whatever it is that you're working on is actually being guided for you, is being taken care of for you, and is really supported by spirit. You know it, but someone telling you that it's hitting something inside. So first card, which is Squirrel, sorry, let's get back to it. Get ready for big changes. And this is where, you know, this is where you're moving. You're moving for some big changes in this thing. This is the seed card. This is, you know, the beginning stages, and this idea of preparation I feel is super important. This card here really talks about being ready for everything that's coming. Now, I feel like that is like, I don't know if you are prepared, because this is a group reading, so I'm getting mixed messages here. There's some of you that'll be over prepared, there'll be some of you that'll be under prepared, but I think the main thing that this card really wants to talk to you about is that you cannot see everything that's going to happen moving forward with this project or group work, but you can be prepared as much as you can, but not in a fearful way, not in a I've got to store as much, you know, nuts for the winter. It's not that. It's about being discerning about what, you know, basically what you're guided to prepare for is a really good way of looking at this, because I'm bordering on this fear energy with this card. There is this fear of not having enough, not knowing how things are going to proceed, and going into fear about that. So I'll just protect myself by collecting as much crap or as much stuff as I can. And that way, like, it could be research, this could be, you know, I don't know, if you're, whatever it is for you, it is this idea that if I just keep preparing, this will help me. Now, I feel like I'm coming from a lack position here. So this is the seed, this is the nucleus, this is the start of the egg of this project. Now you've got a circle or a sphere. So I feel like this is a good energy. I've said to you before, this is a good energy, but there is this lack mentality in this beginning phase. And I feel like this could be coming from past projects or past group work where something didn't go your way, didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And so you're basing it on the past, the tail, you know, you're looking at from the tail, you're not looking forward. And the thing that I do love about all these cards is they're all facing one direction, except the turtle, but we'll talk about that later. but they're all moving in the same direction, which I really like for you. Now, like I said, this is the medicine that you need to be prepared, but not from a fear perspective. The medicine that this is needed in this seed position, and sometimes we need to go back to this seed position, the egg, where it came from, and really have a look at what's going on, why you created this project, what you decided to do, why you made the decision to go forward with it. Our next card is the South card. This is known as the Lava card. And this is the card of doing. This is the card of, the caterpillar pushing, or the pragmatic, the doing. This who will take responsibility for the world. Just as a butterfly egg turns into a growing, struggling caterpillar, this is the medicine of the Lava card. Will the energies be great enough to overcome the obstacles? The caterpillar sheds its skin many times during its growth. Will the many egos involved in your project or activity shed their skin in order to facilitate achievement? And we have adapt to the changes that are happening. Now, this to me feels like a solo project. Now, there will be some of you, like I said, it's a group reading, so there will be some of you who are doing some sort of group work here, but to me, that we're all looking at very solo creatures. Adapt to the changes that are happening. This to me feels like this preparation stage. There's something coming up that you didn't see coming. There's something that's unexpected, that you're going to have to do something that you weren't planning on, that maybe that you thought you'd already done. Maybe you thought that it wasn't part of the project. It wasn't part of what you had to do. Let's put it that way. And this is the time to change that. This is the time to adapt to that and make sure that you're doing what is needed for the project. So, you're going through changes and having to adapt to them. And, just as that caterpillar is struggling, sometimes they won't feel so great. Sometimes things won't feel comfortable. But the thing about Fox showing up here is that Fox is that adaptability. Fox is actually, I love Fox has such little feet and they're able to quickly move and change. So the fact that Fox is showing up here in this position is showing me that you can adapt to whatever's needed. It may not be comfortable, because this is not a comfortable position in this spread. This is the card that shows us maybe the weaknesses in the project, because this is about the doing. This is about the pragmatics of the project, about putting things in place and then actually physically doing them. And sometimes there are things we don't want to do when it comes to a project, especially if we're the big picture kind of people and we see where it's going to go and, all that stuff. And I feel like that is definitely you. You are that person. You are the person that sees the end result. You are the person that, I was going to say pushes through, and perhaps you are a person that pushes through. What's this card? Just want to flip out. Yes, you are the person that sees that big picture. You're very passionate about what you're doing. You have a really good grip on the goal, the focus, how you'll get there. Maybe not the mundane little steps of how you'll get there, but see how I've placed it on this side, which is underneath the raven, and raven is all about magic, own your own power, which I love, and it's sitting on top of this Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is something you're passionate about, something you're excited about, and it's this great project. This is this thing that it's like you know it all the way into your bones. So I know that this is, that why you're doing this is a great love of your life, or a great thing. The West card here, so the Raven card, is what they call the Cocoon card. It speaks of the higher purpose, and that's exactly what I was just talking about, which I've placed the ace under there. It's the highest transformation takes place, much as when the transformation happens inside the cocoon and a beautiful butterfly soon emerges. So this is all the transformation. And this is what you're good at. This is really what you're good at. You're good at knowing that it'll happen. You really are. And so this is where you have to own your power. You're good at pushing. You're good at, I was going to say striving, but they're saying yes to striving, but the thing is, you don't strive and push something up a hill that won't work. You know this is going to work. There's this element of being backed by spirit. This knowledge is coming from spirit. In viewing this card, it's good to ask yourself, why have you started this? And this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect, because you know why you started it, because you may have even got the impetus from spirit, because that's how this feels to me. This is a knowing, this is a really, really sure of your energy. And that's what I said to you in the beginning. This is very, very, very sure of what's going on. And this is where we're looking at, you know, is this serving Great Spirit, or was it to serve yourself? Now, I feel like there is a bit of a balance here, because I know this is going to serve you, but I also know this is going to serve Great Spirit. If this hasn't been done with the, you know, the best intentions, then it may not go through. But for me here, I feel like it's really quite dual, you know, like two-sided, but balanced in that. But not, you know, not one way or the other. This feels very balanced. Yes, this is to benefit you, but this is also to benefit others, Great Spirit. Our final card is Turtle Retreat. Stop trying to make something happen, which I love. It makes so much sense for your particular pile, because there is this fear, you know, this fear is this hanging on energy. There is some stuff you weren't expecting that's happening, but the thing is, why you're doing it, what's happening inside, it's all being guided, you know what I mean? So stop trying to make something happen, and know that it's like, you know, this turtle is just gliding in the water, and this is what Turtle Spirit is coming to talk to you about. It's saying, you know that this is going to happen, you know it's going to work. This is the butterfly position. It is telling you where the Great Spirit is walking with you in this project, and that is definitely the case. With Raven and Magic here, there are some obstacles. We've got this sort of, this energy through here, which is, maybe I can't do it. Maybe you know, I'm looking at the past here, two things with very prominent tails, and then these energies here, which is, but on the other hand, I know that Spirit is telling me to do this. I know that I'm being guided. You know what I mean? Like, there may be this duality happening on more than one level for you. But this is the card that is telling you about the manifestation. This is the card that is telling you almost like you can't not make this happen. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, it's going to happen. It's a force of nature. That's interesting. Now, the King of Pentacles came out first, because what I was talking about, that this line, you know, we've got the Ace of Wands, we've got this duality of, I'm a human in human form, and I'm going on the past, and maybe there are things coming up that I didn't know about. But on this side, I have Spirit, and Spirit is telling me, own my own power, stop trying to make stuff happen, because it's a certainty. Okay, this is a certainty for you, pile number 2. We have the Hermit and the Queen of Wands, which I really love, because the Hermit is the retreat card. It is talking to you about retreating and going within to find the power, to reconnect with this idea of the Ace of Wands, the King of Pentacles, to know. This is the knowing aspect of what's going on here. And then we have the Queen of Wands, and I'm going to place her down there. And to me, this feels like this is the struggle. This is the struggle that we're working with. However, the Queen of Wands doesn't struggle. She knows. The Queen of Wands knows what she wants, knows how she's going to get it. But this is surrendering again to this yin element, this feminine element. This is surrendering. This is knowing that, you know, you can't come from a fearful aspect. You're not going to know everything that happens, but you do know that it is going to work for you. There's going to be times where you've got to trust. You've got to own your own stuff, but you've also got to know that you know what to do. You sometimes might get confused. You sometimes might get waylaid. You sometimes might have to adapt to the changes that are coming in this project. But it is certain. Like there is such a strong energy here. And now that we've kind of put these other axes in, or axes, I should say, it feels more balanced. And I like that for you, pile number 2. Your project feels assured to me. Makes money, makes progress, whatever it is that you're looking for. There is a sense here that you need to grow and adapt, but knowing that there is, it's like you just have to balance these two sides of this equation out. And that to me feels very good for you. Pink quartz, very good at, loving the self. So very much about loving the parts of the self that we don't feel that confident with. This whole part of this reading is all very strong. There's this doubt here, but underneath it is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is a very powerful, very passionate, feminine energy. And it feels like you have to surrender into that yin, which is the very dark magic of the raven also. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you are, thanks for watching, subscribing and commenting. If you'd like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below. Please don't forget to follow me on Facebook. And I think that's it. Hope to see you in a reading in the future. Bye for now. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose this dendritic agate, then this is your reading today. And it's messages from animal spirit. And we're also, we're using a butterfly spread to bring through those messages. And the butterfly spread is all about a project or group work that you're working on or with. Now, just before we start, it feels like there's a lot of earthy, fiery energy with this group. There is another card sitting underneath, but I've been guided by Spirit to leave it there just for the moment. And with this spread, we actually move counterclockwise. I think that's right. It's hard because I'm doing it upside down. So our first card is the East card over here, which is known as the Egg card. And this is the seed of the idea or project or activity. And we want to look at this medicine to see how it's interacting with, what it is that we're doing. It will suggest the value or the inner core of your plan. Is it the medicine that's needed at this time or place? Now, it's really interesting that you got 2 cards here. And it's Dear Spirit. This first card for you, the seed card, the nucleus of what's going on is bring a gentle touch. So I don't know if that's you, that you bring a gentle touch to this project or this group work or whatever it is, or that the project itself is based in a more gentler type of thing. But it's also a 9, and 18 and transfers into being a 9. But we also have chameleon spirit, and it's interesting because part of what I needed to do there was hide chameleon spirit. That's super interesting to me. So there's this gentle aspect, but there's this chameleon spirit, act as if, that's hiding below. So is there something that you're hiding from the world? Is this gentle part of whatever this project is or group work, is this really showing the true colours of this project? Is it really what it makes, what it seems to be on the surface? And I really do doubt, now that I'm having a look at these cards and thinking about this in this way, it feels like there's something here that you're not seeing. There's something here that perhaps this particular energy of this project is not exactly what you thought it was, or what you think it is, should I say. But let's continue and see what other messages that we're getting here. Because chameleon spirit is a spirit that changes things, and it changes with the wind. Doesn't necessarily, but it adapts, but it acts as if. So it's not necessarily what you think it is, and I think that's a big thing for you. We have lizard spirit, dream the world into being, but it's in the reverse. Now, this particular card position is known as the lava card, and the lava card is all about the doing. It's all about who will do the actual doing part of this project. What needs to be done and how will it be done and who will do it? Who will take responsibility for the work? Just as a butterfly egg turns into a growing, struggling caterpillar, this is the medicine of the larva card. Will the energies be great enough to overcome the obstacles? Will the energies be... the caterpillar sheds its skin many times during its growth. Will the people involved do this in order to facilitate, the thing the outcome that you want? Now, a lizard also can shed its skin. This lizard in particular, it's got these, I don't know if they're the wings on it or something, like, I don't know what they are, to be perfectly honest, but it's like, it's a bit battered and a bit torn. This lizard is looking back. This lizard is not trusting. It's trying to move up higher, but it's looking backwards. So the suggestion of this card is that perhaps, that there's a lack of trust. Perhaps there's a disbelief in whatever this energy that's showing up. Perhaps it's not all it seems. There is a lack of trust here. There is a belief that there's something that you're not being shown, that perhaps you're being asked to do all the work and there's no support there. But there's some definite things happening here with these cards in these positions. 5 is very much about change, and here we have an 11, so that's a master number, so it could be that this is teaching you quite a big lesson, whatever this thing is that you're working on or with or whatever. Pile number 3. And then we have our third card, which is Wasp Spirit. It's a 10. Sometimes life stings, and this particular card is the West card. It is the Cocoon card, or it speaks of the higher purpose, the highest transformation that will take place in this project. It is the part where, where the transformation takes place. It happens inside the cocoon, where the butterfly larva turns into the beautiful butterfly itself. Have you joined this project for the right reasons? Are you doing this project for the right reasons? Have you joined this group for the right reasons? Was it to serve yourself? Was it to serve somebody else? Or is this serving Great Spirit? And this card really talks about the fact that if it's not the project or the group work or whatever this thing is, collaboration, if it's not for the right reasons, then it won't work. Now we have sometimes life stings. So to me, it feels like this project is not going where you thought it was going. What have we got here? The Knight of Cups. Pretty sure it came out in the reverse. So the Knight of Cups talks about our emotions, and it feels to me that you wanted this project to be about a certain thing, and it's not about that. You felt strongly about it, but you're connecting with this surface energy is how I want to see it, and you're very strongly committed. I feel that. I feel you're very strongly committed, but I'm not sure that everything is as it seems, particularly with the wasp sting. And in the reverse, I feel like this is a warning card to you that perhaps whatever you're doing, perhaps you're working for somebody or working on a project and it sounds like it's got great ideals, but maybe it's changing and adapting, and maybe the changes that are being made, they're still pretending that they're one thing, but perhaps they're not. And I don't feel like it's going to fill your cup up. I don't feel like it's going to be what you wanted from it. The final card here is the North card. This is known as the butterfly card. This is likely to tell you if Great Spirit has walked hand in hand with you with this project or this group work, and to see what sort of things you'll gain from this project. And you have Moth Spirit, Surrender Now, which I think is extremely important. it's also it's like such a red card. So there's a lot of fire and passion here. And I feel like even though there's some things that you need to learn from this endeavor that you're doing, that it is worthwhile, and there is some things that you're going to see as a result of that. Now that sounds really cryptic, I know. My head is spinning a little bit because I think you're not aware, or you have been aware but you didn't want to know about it. Let's put it that way. The Chariot in the reverse feels like there's going to be some delays in particular, and we have the Knight of Cups, again, very, very slow moving energy. So there does feel like there's delays, and I'm feeling the delays are actually a good thing. I feel like the delays are where some questions start happening. People start questioning what the project is about, and this is this energy here. Is it just acting as if it's a good thing? Because if it is, then maybe you don't want to be involved in it, and maybe that's what these cards here are talking about. However, we do have the Nine of Cups, and it's sitting underneath these cards here about what the project is all about, what the seed of the project is about. And to me, I feel like there's a revisiting of where the project was meant to go. And I feel like whatever delays happen are probably meant to happen so that things can actually, progress in the way that they're meant to. But this card here is about surrendering. The Empress is perfect in that sense. There is the divine feminine really needs to be what this is about, and I don't know how that relates to what you're doing, but what I do know is this idea of, if it's not about this, then it's not right. That's how it feels to me. That's the most nuts and bolts way I can say it. The divine feminine, this here is all about giving to others, and I have no idea, because the Empress doesn't always, doesn't refer to that, but that's the message. This gentle touch, this dear spirit, the Nine of Cups, it's not meant to be about one person's reward. It's not meant to be about that. It is meant to be, and we've got cups and cups, it's meant to be emotionally fulfilling. It's meant to be, it feels like almost like a sacred space, and there's hold-ups because something's gone amiss here in the doing part and the acting as if, because this should be the higher mind, and that's a little bit convoluted in this particular the reading here. It's here, it's showing up, but it's definitely being acted upon in a sense by the human layers of whatever's working in this reading that we're looking at, as it is a group reading. Now, the more that I'm saying that, the more confusing things are getting. So my suggestion here is just to breathe into your lower belly, so underneath your belly button, and understand that what you're being asked to do right now is surrender. There are some good parts of this project. There are some other things that are less likely, or they're not from the higher mind. They're much more the mundane, everyday world. And there needs to be some reviewing, some looking backwards to see whether you're doing, or whether it's you or not, but whether the things are being done for the right reason, and then it's going to be transformed back into what the original idea is of this generous, all giving kind of thing. It feels very giving. It feels almost like charity, but I don't know if it will be for all of you, of course, but it feels like that. It feels giving, and it feels giving from a heart-based, so that it fills everybody's cup up. Not just some, not just the people that are trying to make money from this, because that's riding roughshod, which is this life stings aspect here. But the best thing that you can do is to surrender into, find out what makes sense for you, and start reviewing things. That's what this message is for you, Pile 3. Hope this has made sense. If it has, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. If you're already subscribed, thanks for being here. Please follow me on Facebook. If you would like a private reading, there is a link in the description below. I also do Qigong healing. If you're interested in that, you can follow the links to the book now, which will also take you to my website. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you in a reading in the future. Bye for now. Hi there, pile number 4. This is your reading if you chose the Priscilla Bluestone. Hope I'm saying that right. We're using the butterfly spread here today to look at a project, group work, or something that you're working on. And we are asking animal spirits for messages. And you can see that we're using Animal Spirit deck here by Stephen Farmer, Power Animal Oracle cards. So our first 2 cards are in the what they call the seed position, and we have Owl, which is omens, Eagle, which is spirit. I love that. So pay attention to signs and symbols that you're getting, and trust your higher self. Wow. Now we've got a lot of air energy coming in here, higher mind, this idea of trust, and really, you know, the owl is talking to us all about knowledge. Eagle is that spirit, and it really feels far-reaching. You know, in this spirit card here and the eagle card, the wingspan is huge. So this feels like this project that you're working on or group work. This feels far-reaching. It feels like there's a lot of help from spirit here. There is there's support, and like it feels like you're getting not only omens, so signs that are things that are progressing. You know, you might be seeing numbers like triple numbers. You might see a particular number all of the time. You might be seeing 1111. You also might be seeing 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4, 4 5 6. You know what I mean? Like they're progressive numbers. So I feel like you're seeing numbers like that. So things that tell you that you're moving on in whatever it is that you're doing, and you're being given like quite a lot of messages from spirit. Like I said, that they could maybe coming in the form of signs, but it feels like you may also have things coming into your dreams. You know, the mind is what I'm kind of getting there. The next card position is all about the lava card. Now, this is the doing stage of a project. We have Raccoon, which is resourcefulness, which I think is great when it comes to the doing stage. You have all the resources you need. Now, out of all the piles, I think this is the only pile that's got some really good things happening in this phase here. You know, you've actually got resourcefulness, so that feels really good. Again, you've got the support underneath you. I love that. I love that support coming in. So I've mentioned that twice now, so it's super important that for you to know that you've got this support. Now, sometimes when we're working on a project, you know, we can be told we're going to have support, but you literally have support. I'm seeing it for you. Then we have purification, clear out the clutter. Now this is in the reverse. So I feel like there is an element of you probably needing to clear out, you know, what you're doing. You need to clear out, like it feels like a bit of a fog in a sense. So perhaps you've done other projects in the past, or if this is your work office, whatever it is, your home office, or if you're a crafty person and you're making things, it's time to get everything out of the cupboards, perhaps sage them, clear them, which, you know, sound, whatever you do. But there is definitely this, you need to pull things out, clear it out and reorganize, because there is this resourcefulness. You have all the resources you need, but you need to clear the clutter. You need to reorganize and prepare yourself for the next phase of this project. And this feels really good for you, this purification from the frog. Like it actually feels like, you know, when big rains come and they clear everything away, like, and I feel like you really need it. Good. Now I did talk about a fog, and then we have the King of Swords. So once you've cleared out the space, there'll be a really crystal clear way forward. You'll know where you're going. You know the next step. You've also got the butterfly there, which is great because it's transforming this spirit into matter. Love, love, love that for you. Pile number 4, really, really great energy that's working through your project. It feels like a really, I don't know, it feels like it's being carried by spirit. Now, I've mentioned the support, but I really do. I feel like you've got this support from below and above, and I think that's really important for you. And I don't know if you, now I want to talk like 100 miles an hour. I don't know if you know that you've got this support, and I'm going on about it. I know I am, but Spirit wants me to tell you that you have the support of Spirit, but you also have the support from underneath you. You have solid ground underneath you. And that sounds really great because a lot of the other groups haven't had, you know, the above and the below. And I feel like you do. You have this above and below. There's a bit of fog around what's going on. You need to clear the space. And then the King of Swords comes in with, you know, clear decisions, easy decisions. You know the next steps to move forward in this transformation of this project. This definitely feels like you're working on your own or on your own project, whereas but you may be in a group, but it doesn't feel that way. You feel like you have more control over the outcome, and I don't really know why that's coming, but it is. So we have Cougar here in the 3rd position, which is the West card, which is known as the Cocoon card. So this is all about the changes taking place, and I love this because it's be bold and take charge with confidence, you know, to understand that everything that's happening is happening for a reason. Again, you've got the support under here. I'm just loving that. Every single card is supported from the ground. So we've got lots of physical energy, but we've also got the spirit energy coming in here. This confidence card is confidence in the transformation, that it will happen, that you don't need to worry about what will happen, which is the next card for you. But this is the, this is the reason why you've done it. Is this for the higher mind? Is this for the higher aspect? Or is this, for the lower ground here? And this doesn't feel like that. This doesn't feel like that. This group is really balanced. Now, there's some bits that need to be worked on, of course, but there's a lot of balance here. There is this sort of beautiful equilibrium in letting spirit come in here and taking charge when need, but there's also your own mind here. There's also your own endeavors, like it's a really beautiful energy that I'm feeling. So really be confident in the outcome. That this card's talking of the outcome before we're even there. And I love that because this is knowing that it's going to transform, knowing with a real surety that what you want is coming. So if you haven't got that message yet, I'm sorry, but I'm, not shouting at you, but pretty firm. So the North card, this is the card as the butterfly card. This is likely to tell you if Great Spirit has walked hand in hand with you. And, we know that Great Spirit is walking hand in hand with you. I've been talking about it through the whole reading. There is another secret card here that I'll bring in a minute. Let go of control. I love this card. These cards here really talk to each other. They're very, they're linking. They're beautifully linking. Be bold, take charge, but let go of control. Let go of the outcome. Surrender to spirit. Again, you're being lifted up. So then this card's speaking back into the spirit nature of the trust. Letting go and knowing that everything's going to be okay. And your last card was Dragonfly. Now, it didn't come out when I was doing the spread, but I noticed it sitting underneath the deck, and the fact that Spirit showed it to me felt extremely important for you. And this is illusion. You know who you really are, and I absolutely love that. I've got shivers going up and down my body, like almost like goosebumps everywhere. Dragonfly is the perfect representation of everything I've been talking about here. It is support below. It's supported on the earth plane. It is able to take flight and fly like eagle. It is really high, fine energy, and it's all about transformation. So I just love these two cards here for you. Is this aligned with spirit? Definitely. Will spirit support you? Definitely. Will this be successful? Definitely. Now, this is a group reading, so, you know, I can't say those things, but I want to. We have the Fool here. This is a passion project. This is you walking your talk. This is you, you know, stepping out into life in the way that you want to. Now, I'm just trying to figure out which way these came up. Now, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm going to do both of them facing up. Now, I'm being told to place them there, and I feel like we need another card to really sort of round this out. Not that one. So the Fool is talking about this journey, and it's a beautiful journey because it's full of unlimited potential. It is open, it is trusting, it is believing that you'll be supported even when you step off the cliff. I love that card. Beautiful. It is supporting that spirit, you know, is trusting that spirit is going to support you, that something's going to rise up to meet you. And I've been talking about that support all the way through for you. It's knowing that there is going to be momentum, that once, like, I feel like there's this one element of doubt when it comes to this card, because I'm not sure if it came in the reverse position or the upright position. And that tells me something about this card and how to read it. And this here is telling me that you're not certain. There's a little aspect of you that's not certain that all of this is true. Most of you knows all of this is true. Most of you believes it, knows it, trusts it. There's this little part of you that goes, but when I hit a roadblock, I get frightened. I get scared that this is not happening, that I can't trust, that I can't let go of this control, because this is a big one here. This is these two cards. But that's the illusion. That's the illusion that you are this meat suit walking around and that you are not this greater spiritual being. Okay, that's what these cards are sort of telling their own little story here. And the Fool can have that naive nature, but this is not a naive nature in the sense that that you don't know. This is a naivety in the sense that you're trusting that things will support you, that, like I said, you do have this support. So the thing is, you're trusting because you know, not because you're stupid and naive. Now, that's a pretty, I don't like the word stupid, but I was really kind of drawn to use it. We are talking about something big that you're working on. This is the world. This is, you know, well, financial freedom is the word that I was told there. Okay, so now this is a group reading, so please just take that with a grain of salt, but it was the words I was asked to use. And this feels, again, you're you know, there's solid ground standing on all of these, most of these cards, should I say. There's a couple that don't have the solid ground, but mostly we're looking at that. And then we have the 10 of Cups. You know, this is your happiness. This is you being fulfilled by this project. This just feels really big to me. It's like just not a volcano, but something just building, and then really being fulfilling. Which I just love for you. And the Preseli blue stone, it's a pretty big stone, even though it's only small. You may want to look that up if you don't know what that's about. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are new to my channel, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Please make sure that you all give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it. There's a link in the description box below for private readings. I also do healings as well if you're interested, which can be done over Zoom, so anywhere in the world. What else do I need to tell you? I load my video up, or my video goes up on a Friday night, Australian Standard Time, so that's 7:45. Please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss one. I hope to see you in a reading soon. Bye for now.